That's embarrassing. Try that again. Nope. Darn it. Found it. Okay, drifting in a tunnel is not as easy as it looks because I can never drift inside of a tunnel unless we're talking about like GTA. then in which case I could drift inside of it. But not in this. In this, it's a little bit different. Because in this, you can't get the sharp angle you would be able to in GTA. Well, I mean, you could, but you would have to get pretty dead gum close to the wall in order to get the angle. And on top of that, you have to manage the angle, keep it, and be constantly accelerating at the same time. And that is not possible. I'm not that skilled when it comes to drifting. And plus, that requires a level of expertise I do not possess. Okay, messed that up. That's fine. Can't mess this one up. Yep, nope, nope, yep, knew it. Okay, that was because I turned too sharp. Thank you, Brandon, for your vote of confidence. Yes, I'm very good at driving. Actually, Richard, I need the map. No, I don't want that. Did I forget how to open the map? Are you kidding me right now? Open. No. Frick this. Found it. I need to go over here. I need to go back to the other island because the other island has wider corners, and they're better for drifting, much less this map with sharper corners, which, yes, sharper corners would make for better drifting practice, but I prefer wider corners because wide corner drifting is way better than sharp corner drifting. Because with sharp corners and trying to drift around them creates a problem. Like, where's a good example? Like, right here. Like, right here, when I tried to drift around it, you can drift around it, it's just, you have to get the right angle. You could do a full drift around this. Pretty easy. It's pretty easy to do a full drift around it. I did a full drift around... Well, almost. I almost did a full drift. Like right here, it was literally because I couldn't get the angle. And then I finally got the angle when I came to about right there, then went straight, then turned and went straight again. But right here, where I came back, I came in and I went too far over into the other lane. I should have stayed in this lane so I had a better chance at drifting around the turn. Because the front of the car would have went into the other lane and I could have just went around. Yes, I probably still would have hit the guardrail, but it would have made for a better opportunity. Actually, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like right here, I literally just turned around and went right back, and then, yeah. Now, the turnaround, I will admit, I did a pretty good job on that turnaround. I did not think I would do a good job on that turnaround. Okay, so what's the fastest way back is my question. Is what I actually should be doing. probably go straight, and then bank a hard left, and then go down here, bank a right, and then bank another hard left, and follow the bridge all the way back. Or I could get creative. Well, actually, no, I can't do that. Never mind. Actually, I can't do that because, yeah, no. Okay, never mind. I can't do that. Wait. Yes, I can. What am I doing? Yes, I can. Because I can just take this tunnel. Literally, I can just go down here, bank a right, go through the tunnel, bank a hard left, come back through, go down here, and then it's a straight shot onto the bridge. Why don't I just do that? That's a smarter idea than what I had thought, than what I give up. Ah! Okay. Hello. How's the turn? Ah! Why is the accelerator being sensitive? And why is the steering also being sensitive? What is this road covered in baby powder? And oil? Oh no, I messed that up. Oh, never mind. Actually not. Why am I drifting? I was not trying to drift that. Can't mess this up. If you manage to mess that up, there's something wrong with your driving. Because nobody would mess that up. Unless you're like brand new to drifting. But if you're like really good at drifting in any sort of driving game, or you have experience with any kind of driving game and you know how to drift in any kind of driving game and you mess that up, there's something wrong with you. Because you can't mess that up. It's physically impossible. Even if you tried to mess it up, I don't think you are gonna mess it up. Like doing this, you can't mess that up. There's no way. Other than, unless you're counting hitting stop sign. That doesn't count though. But you literally cannot mess that up. There's no way for you to mess that up. But there is a way to mess it up if you're in oncoming traffic and slam into a box truck. Box truck, ice cream truck. Get back in that lane. You don't need to be on opposite sides of the road. This isn't the UK where we're driving on the left side of the road. No, this is not the UK. This is actually quite the opposite of the UK. I'm pretty sure this is based in like Japan, not the UK. Because the UK is a lot bigger. And it's a lot harder to drift in the UK because there's not as many turns that are good for drifting. Now that I could have messed up pretty easy. Thank God I didn't. I did in fact mess that up though. I 100% messed that up. But there's no way I didn't. Turn came up faster than I was expecting. Oh, I'm sorry, that actually worked? Why did that work? That should not have worked. Why did that work? Okay, I messed that up. I can't ever do that thing that professional pros at drifting in any game can do, where they literally just save a drift, like they start one, they save like 3 more immediately afterwards, and I'm like, bro. I almost messed that up. Look. Oh, no, wait, this is too tight. Oh, wait, nope, maybe. Nope, it's too tight. I couldn't get the angle. Nope. That's too tight. I can't get the angle on it. And I'll show you why. Because when I came in, I was thinking I could drift the exit or the entrance that I came in, and I'm like, nope, can't do that. So then I was thinking, oh, maybe I can try over here. Nope, can't do that either. One, there's that sign, which fucks me up, or messes me up. And then you've got this over here, so if I were to try and drift it, odds are the back of my car would be probably something like that, would look something along the lines of this. And then I probably wouldn't even be able to turn quick enough to straighten it back out. And even then, you've got this over here, which messes me up even more. Because physics powered by tires and drifting and it's not worth it. Physics and how the laws of physics work say otherwise. They say otherwise. And trying to do that is going to end in failure over and over again. Unless you're like a professional drift machine that knows something I don't. Because I definitely would not be able to do that. I'm also just going to jump the roundabout because I'm not drifting a roundabout. Whee! Oh, flip, those are trees. This is sketchy. Not. Okay, now it's a little sketchy. Ah, why is that guy there? Why is there a human on a motorcycle? What the heck? Ah, hello car. How are you? Oh, nope, I messed that up. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. Nope. Maybe. I don't know. I give up trying anymore. Regardless, I still messed it up. Because I didn't have the angle. I mean, I had the angle, but not the one I wanted. Ah! Why am I not drifting the way I wanted to? Not what I wanted at all, but thank you. Thanks for drag racing tires that shouldn't be able to do that, and I shouldn't have been able to manage that anyways, but okay. Not sure how I managed that while holding the brake and the e-brake at the same time and trying to steer while also pressing the accelerator in the process. Should not have worked as well as it did, but for whatever reason it worked. What the shot? Now I can. I was trying to drift that turn, but I couldn't drift it. So instead, I just went straight. I was trying to go this way, but it didn't work, because I was going too fast earlier. How about I not hit poles? That would be helpful. Or street lights, that would also be helpful. And it would help if I could drift. I wanted to turn back there. Rude. Doesn't really help that I'm also doing 100. I'm almost doing 170 down a road. Doing 170 down Main Street in a modified Ford Mustang isn't exactly the easiest thing in the world. I missed the turn again. Darn it. Not this one. Nope, it was that one. Never mind. Pretend I'm not being stupid. Hey, at least now I can do what I wanted to do. I can't do what I want to do on this roundabout, though, because... maybe? Sweet Mary, Mother, and Joseph. I actually managed to. Kind of. Not really. I didn't really do it the way I wanted it to, but it worked anyways. I didn't do exactly what I wanted to do, but I'm not really complaining. Because I still managed to make it through the roundabout without slamming into something. At Mach fuck. Exit ramp. I should have hit the guardrail. Darn it. Nope. Okay. Duly noted. So, here's a public announcement. Don't try drifting around that. Noted. I'm never trying that again. Yeah, no, that angle was terrible. Yeah, absolutely not. There's no way. I never would have been able to drift that. I turned way too soon. Yeah, no, that was absolutely horrendous. I should have stayed in the other lane. I shouldn't have been in this lane. I should have been in this lane so I could do it. And I didn't. I was trying to stay in this lane. Well, wasn't trying to stay in... I don't know anymore. I should have stayed in this lane so that way I could go wee and then drift around. Did not work because physics and drifting and modified cars isn't exactly a thing. Because right here, I should have hit that. I should have hit this. There's no way I should have been able to turn that well. But, obviously, it can tell you your driving pattern. So, the way I was driving and steering would counter for how I didn't hit it. And it's relatively straightforward how I didn't hit it. Why is that turn so wide and all of a sudden... oh, this is going to come back to bite me, isn't it? I have a feeling I'm going to regret trying this. Nope, I don't have the speed. Okay, never mind. Can't do that. I wasn't going to do something cool. I was going to make it look cool. I wasn't going to do anything cool. Nothing I do is cool. Why is this turn so sharp? I hate this turn. Can I do... Nope. Not even gonna try. Never gonna make that. Not even gonna try. Not even gonna try and make that. Never gonna do it. Not even gonna try. Not even gonna try and do that. There's no way I'm doing that. Not even gonna try. Never gonna get the angle on that. Ah! Why is that like... That is sketchy. And I hate it. Because I've done that multiple times before. And I can never find angle. Don't slam into that. That's what I wanted. Why am I going this way? I don't know. This is also a parking lot. Not a parking lot. Sidewalk. Although it does make for pretty good drifting. Holy. That's actually relatively useful for drifting. Holy. That was actually relatively easy. Why was that so easy? Okay. Never mind. It's wider than I'm thinking it is. Well, no shit, me. It's wider. Duh. Yep. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, because when I did the drift, I drifted without... I somehow didn't hit this. I don't know how I didn't hit that. But I did... Yeah, okay. Perfect parking. Oh, wait. I forget. Changing from first person to third person is not the same as it is in GTA. I keep forgetting that. I'm so used to playing GTA. I should have hit that. No, I shouldn't have. Never mind. I'm looking at it now. No, I shouldn't have hit that. Also, I drifted around this, even though I shouldn't have drifted around that. I shouldn't have even been able to drift around that. I should have tried going through the gas station and drifting through it. But I am going to explain the problem with that, because the problem with that is, if I can do it without hitting something, problem with drifting through the gas station is I'd be drifting like this, and that is a recipe for disaster. Because drifting like this is about as sketchy as just pulling into the gas station and refilling, not knowing what in the world the gas pump could possibly do, or assuming, you know, the second you fill up your car, the gas pump just decides it's going to randomly combust. So, yeah, that's why I'm not going to try that, because I guarantee if I did, it'd take me like 15 attempts. Why is the road right? Why is the bloody road right there? Oh my god, I hate the way they designed that. Thank you for being annoying or rude. That was lovely of you. Not okay or not. That's fine. But it's helpful as handlebars on oatmeal. I can't drift this. Nope.